listening to the Friday Five here on the Agent Survival Guide podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Ruppel, bringing you our weekly recap for insurance agents. And what a week it has been. So much news to cover. So let's start out with some field notes at number 5. We don't talk much about TikTok here on the podcast, but here's a little tidbit worth mentioning. According to reports, it looks like the platform has put a limit on hashtags, allowing just 5 per post. Screenshots of the notification suggest that users, quote, use accurate hashtags to get more views, end quote. In addition to cutting down on the messy look hashtags tend to give posts, the company is also hoping it will cut down on hashtag spamming and give users an even better discovery experience. Spotify announced a new premium feature that will elevate your playlists even further than the last one that added the ability to edit and sort playlists. That one was a long time coming, and the new Mix feature builds on that concept. Mix lets Spotify users add transitions between songs in playlists they create. You can use their preset transitions like fade, rise, or blend, to name a few, or you can create your own custom transitions between tracks, essentially allowing users to get super creative. Per the instructions on Spotify's For the Record blog, users will be able to change volume and EQ settings, add effects, and songs will have BPM info listed to make for easier transitioning for those just starting out. Currently, Spotify is rolling out the Mix feature to premium users as a beta version. Sadly, I am not currently part of that group, but I've got my fingers crossed that it is coming to my account soon. And then last but not least, I want to mention 2 resources again here because as I was combing through the news during the past week, I noticed a lot of articles popping up about the One Big Beautiful Bill and what it means for Medicare beneficiaries, as well as other types of health insurance. I would expect that the amount of content is only going to grow in the coming weeks leading up to both the annual enrollment period and the open enrollment period. Just a reminder that we have 2 resources geared specifically for agents. One is a previous Friday 5 episode where we focused exclusively on the budget reconciliation bill, and then the other is a post on our blog where our editor, Emily, did a deep dive on the One Big Beautiful Bill as well. Highly recommend digging into both of those. We've been meaning to turn her post into an episode here on the show, but it has been a little chaotic for that at the moment. But I think it's going to be important to really know what's changing and how that's going to affect your clients so you can help answer their questions and maybe even clear up some misconceptions. The bill was enormous. It got a lot of publicity in all of its different stages. And I think just being able to really clarify what your clients need to be concerned about, separating fact from fiction, that is going to be really important this enrollment season. Number 4, J.D. Power recently released their 2025 Medicare Advantage Plan Member Satisfaction Survey results. After a year of disruption in the industry, it was interesting to see how consumers rated their experience. Couple things I want to note here. One is that overall customer satisfaction came in at 623 points out of a possible 1,000. 62% is not great, and numbers were down from 2024 results. For the higher performing plans in the study, digital solutions like the carrier portal or a website that was easy to navigate helped elevate ranking. And then one area of friction for plans, satisfaction from first-year members. Just 38% of survey respondents in a Medicare Advantage plan for the first time claimed to be satisfied with the level of service their plan issuer provided. The most common issues for survey respondents, quote, explanation of benefits, how to find in-network doctors, deductibles, prior authorizations, and usage of their health savings account or health retirement account, end quote. My takeaway from these responses would be to make sure I'm focusing on those specific areas with all my clients enrolling in Medicare Advantage for the first time. Taking just a little bit of extra time to make sure clients understand the difference between Original Medicare and Medicare Advantage prior to looking at any plan details, that is going to be appreciated down the line. You will have a much better chance of expectations and reality matching up if you do your due diligence with education. Number 3, an important update for agents selling in the Georgia market. The Insurance Commissioner of Georgia recently announced that Sonder Health Plans has been placed into receivership. The carrier has been under administrative supervision since April of 2025 and was unable to raise enough capital to keep the lights on. All Sonder Health Plans policies are set to terminate on October 1st, 2025. Those individuals will have a special enrollment period to be able to find a suitable replacement plan between now and October 31st, 2025. Between the Georgia Commissioner's Office and the Sonder Health Plans receivership website, there are a lot of FAQ documents worth reviewing if you have clients with plans issued by Sonder. And if you're an agent in Georgia, you might already be getting calls from individuals who have heard the news and want to know how to proceed. We will have that information linked in our episode notes. Here at Ritter Insurance Marketing, we've got a team in Georgia. Highly recommend reaching out to them to chat. Steve, Jada, and Betsy will be happy to help answer your questions. We will have their contact info linked in the notes, so be sure to check that out. Number 2, just in time for the 2026 enrollment season, we've got some changes to short-term medical plans that agents should be aware of. Little bit of context here. With the clock running out on enhanced ACA subsidies, changes coming to Medicaid, and then the projected increase to ACA premiums across the board, it's going to be an interesting year for the under 65 market. Back in 2024, the definition of short-term limited duration insurance, what we typically call short-term medical, was changed to define a coverage limit of 3 months with a 1-month extension, quote, consistent with applicable law, end quote. This change set strict parameters about the coverage length for short-term medical plans. On August 7th, the U.S. Department of Labor, Health and Human Services, and the Treasury released a joint statement announcing that, quote, the departments do not intend to prioritize enforcement actions for violations related to failing to meet the definition of short-term limited duration insurance in the 2024 final rules, including the notice provision, end quote. Now, that was at the federal level. Also included in that memo, a suggestion that states follow the federal decision to deprioritize enforcement of the 2024 definition of short-term medical plans. This means that we will likely see some carriers go back to offering short-term medical plans that fit the previous, more broad definition, which allowed for up to 3-year short-term medical plans in select states. I do want to mention here, these products are still not approved at the state level in several states for a few different reasons. We won't get into those reasons here because, much like any state-level legislation, those reasons vary. But the list of states that currently do not have short-term medical plans includes California, Colorado, Connecticut, DC, Hawaii, Illinois, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Washington. We will be linking to a map with more information about short-term plan availability in all of those states in the episode notes. So again, be sure to check out the notes. Number 1 on our list this week, some good news for those of us in the Medicare Advantage space regarding the Americans for Beneficiary Choice and Council for Medicare Choice versus the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services lawsuits. Back in 2024, CMS included some new regulations in the 2025 Medicare Final Rule that aimed to eliminate separate administration fees, set clear fixed amounts for MA and Part D sales with adjustments made each year according to fair market value, cap agent and broker non-salary compensation, and prohibit enrollment incentives. To quote 2024 Sarah, these changes would require carriers to pay the same set commissions established by CMS for MA and Part D sales. They may also affect and potentially eliminate health risk assessment or HRA fees, marketing co-op, and enrollment-based bonuses offered by plans, end quote. On Monday this week, District Judge Reed O'Connor vacated all but one provision in these lawsuits. The one provision O'Connor upheld was the one that prevents third-party marketing organizations, or TPMOs, from, quote, distributing any personal beneficiary data they collect to any other third-party marketing organizations without consent. This prohibition covers a beneficiary's name, address, and phone number, as well as any other information given by a beneficiary for the purpose of finding an appropriate MA or Part D plan, end quote. And an interesting comment that stood out to me in the judge's decision, quote, the statutory language at issue here contains no such language expressly delegating rulemaking authority. Rather, CMS is allowed to set guidelines to ensure that the use of compensation creates incentives for agents and brokers to enroll individuals in the Medicare Advantage plan that is intended to best meet their healthcare needs, end quote. This harkens back to the overturning of the Chevron deference, and with it, a broader allowance for rulemaking by federal agencies like HHS. We'll be linking to a PDF of Judge O'Connor's decision and a few other references in the episode notes. Before I sign off, just want to give a quick shout out to all the parents out there who are either recovering from back-to-school shopping or gearing up for a weekend of shopping for all of those loose ends. I am right there with you. This year, the Hydro Jug seems to be the new Owala, so we've already picked up one of those. We've gotten the backpack, all the supplies, and locker accessories. But I do just want to say that I see you. You are doing great. Soon they will be back to a regular routine, and you'll be able to breathe a little bit, at least before the extracurriculars really kick in. And then on the agent side of things, if you have questions as you're prepping for AEP, feel free to send your questions to our mailbag at asgpodcast@ritterim.com. We'd be happy to answer those questions for you. But for right now, I hope you have a great weekend. Stay healthy and stay safe out there. And we will see you next week. The Agent Survival Guide podcast is a production of Ritter Insurance Marketing, an integrity company. This episode was written and produced by me, Sarah Ruppel. Script editing and fact check by Tina Lamoureux. Podcast design by Urban Rivera. Follow along with our show wherever you like to listen.